do want to kind of pivot a little bit. We got Downtown Disney. Downtown Disney. So this is getting the like this end of down. This is where like Earl's sandwiches, the Starbucks was, AMC, getting a big reimagining, and Fresh Baked has been fantastic with this. They've been on Twitter and on their YouTube channel, kind of posting like the demolition of it. All this stuff is basically gone already, and this is the concept art for what will be the replacement. Yeah, I'll start with you, Ka. Like, what do you think about this? Like, this whole reimagining of Downtown Disney, because like the rest of Downtown Disney has more of a garden feel, like with the right, and then this is going to be very mid-century, 1950s, 1960s. What do you feel?
I honestly, okay, so when I first went to Downtown Disney, I told you before, I have this thing where I compare and I contrast. So obviously Disney Springs was the first one I've ever been to. Downtown Disney is my second. So I love this layout because I feel like it's just wider, fresher. It's different. And when it comes to Disney, they're always going to be changing things up. This is supposed to be kind of like a retro chic imagining, and I think it works. And I feel like this is if it's done well, it's going to look really good. And I feel like Downtown Disney definitely needed some type of upgrade in a sense, or just like for it to be wider. I love like the grass area where it looks kind of like just you can sit and relax while you're shopping and stuff like that. You can picnic, that type of stuff. So to be honest, I'm all for it. I'm just wondering, I don't know if they bought out what type of stores and stuff that they're going to put into the infrastructure. Did they ever mention that? I'm not sure.
No, they didn't. Everything is kind of vague. It was just the concept art on how it's going to look. They didn't really mention any like retailers, restaurants or anything like that. That's probably still in the works, negotiations and what have you. And I agree with you, Ka. Like, I really like the mid-century thing is fantastic, especially for Disneyland, because it's very much like, look, the park opened in 55. So
exactly. They're very rooted in nostalgia. And I think that's what I like about it. It's very nostalgic, but it's also like modern at the same time. Like, I feel like they're trying to go hand in hand with both. And that works well with like Disneyland goers and people that have grown up with the parks. And it's just a different outlook on the way things have been created lately. But we'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
No, I completely agree. The nostalgia factor definitely works here in California. I think like the park is very much rooted in that mid-century kind of style because of when it opened. And Ka, to your point, you mentioned like the grassy area and like that kind of chill, like kind of like, kind of having a picnic kind of thing. I think that's kind of like, I think like Imagineering is sort of like leaning into that a lot, at least here in Anaheim.
Yes. And I don't know if you guys saw the what is it called? The concept art for the
Toontown.
Yes, Toontown, where they have more open grassy areas, and I'm like, I don't know why. Because I love parks, like actual parks. I love that. So to see that kind of incorporated into the theme park, where it's kind of like just to chill and relax and just kind of like de-stress in such busy parks where they're constantly going and going and going. You're on your feet and you just need somewhere to just sit under a tree and just relax. I love that concept, and it's obviously they could have done more rides or more. I know we're talking about this, but I'm sorry, I'm talking about Toontown. But they could have done more rides or more attractions, stuff like that. But they chose to kind of do like an open area, open space, chill, and I love that. I love it. Same with Downtown Disney. I feel like that's the kind of vibe they were going for, also. But I could be wrong. We'll see.
No, I think you're absolutely 100%, Ka. And I think that's really like this is kind of like the trend that they're going with, where they really want these kind of like I don't know how to even really describe it, like this community sort of like just family orientated sort of spaces where families can just sort of sit and chill. Like you see it here, we see it with Toontown. And we probably, to be quite honest with you, if Disneyland Forward gets the green light, we will probably see more of these kind of spaces with Disneyland Forward.
Yeah.
A lot of grassy areas where people can just kind of hang out. I think it's a cool aspect, and I'm really glad they're kind of leaning into that. What do you think, Dre? What are your overall feelings on Downtown Disney's this end of Downtown Disney, this reimagining?
Well, this is following the disastrous hotel controversy that happened, the second spat with the city and all of that. But, that's in the past right now. So they had to do something with the space, obviously. And really, Downtown Disney has really needed some rehab, major rehab for quite a while. Mm-hmm. This is going back. I mean, it's probably needing a rehab like this for going on 10 years right now. And I thought Disney Springs would have provided the kind of template for them to follow. And it looks like they're kind of using that, but adapting it for Disneyland specifically. You made a great point, OG, on Twitter, where the Disneyland Hotel being a mid-century modern style hotel, this juxtaposes nicely with that since it's going to be right next to it. I think that was a great point. My feeling about mid-century modern, I mean, it's like, I like it, I do, and I think it does fit Disneyland specifically. We're seeing that though with Disney Village, with Epcot somewhat, and I've seen it a lot from Imagineering. I kind of want them to flex their muscles, creative muscles in some other directions. But I get it. I think for this it works, and I'm very, very excited about it. As far as green spaces go, it's interesting. I think Disney's leaning into those green spaces, to think more maybe cynically about it, because it's a nice maybe flex space for them for maybe corporate events, or maybe we have a bandstand right here for shows and stuff like that. So I think that's why they're implementing this into their design process going forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, and the proximity, I mentioned this on Twitter, but like the proximity to this end of Downtown Disney with Disneyland Hotel, which Disneyland Hotel is very much like a retro, kind of look at the park, very mid-century. This is definitely a move to kind of tie Downtown Disney, at least this end of it, into the hotel. I think, so that's fascinating. But I mean, I think it's a good move. I mean, I'm happy to see it. I think Downtown Disney needs it. Now, hey, Kai, you've been to Walt Disney World. You got like Disney Springs, they got a ton of cool stuff. They got like that Jock Lindsay's like Indiana Jones bar. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Can we get some of that? Like, what's going on? Like I want to see stuff like that in Downtown Disney.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's why I was kind of like, when I first came to Downtown Disney, it was, don't get me wrong, I was like, oh, this is cool. But when you come from Disney Springs, where they have just like, they kind of went all out with the sponsorships, the stores that they have, the bars, like everything that's kind of instilled in there. And then it looks so high scale. It looks great, honestly. Like, I love the nighttime vibe of Disney Springs compared to Downtown Disney. And it's just it's such a different atmosphere, where I'm figuring that what they're doing here with this concept art, they're going to probably try to, like you said, they're sticking to that vintage look, but I'm hoping it's something on the scale of Disney Springs, where it's a little modern, a little bought up, a little nightlifey also, but I'm not too crazy, but like something that everybody can enjoy. But honestly, I can't wait to see what Disney Springs is going to come up with, because like Dre said, is very much needed. Very much.
Yeah, with Downtown Disney, I mean, Downtown Disney always felt like kind of tacked on to me as part of the Disneyland Resort, formation of it during 2001, right? During the Presser era and its Disneyland's transformation. It was just kind of tacked on. And there were great concepts as part of Westcott and before, where they were going to have a shopping center, and it was going to incorporate a lake and all kinds of great stuff. Unfortunately, those things never really happened. I think Disney Springs benefits from having part of it rooted in Pleasure Island and stuff, and these kind of dedicated spaces that have just been rehabbed and kind of reimagined and redone. Downtown Disney really never got that, I mean, it was the parking lot, and after Grand Californian, after California Adventure, it was like, okay, here's the rest of the budget, kind of thing. And I'm really glad it's getting that redo, and show off its potential that it always had.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I know it's gonna look great. Like, I know it's gonna look good. Like, going forward, concept art always sometimes looks different from what they actually create, but anything new is always a step up, and like Disney's always ever changing. There's always something coming new out of it, or they're gonna expand on it, or like even if you see the new thing and you're like, oh, that's it. Well, but Disney's never that's it. You know what I mean? Like we'll see what else they tie together with that reimagining of downtown Disney and whatever else more they're gonna add to it. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. I mean, I might be like 50 something. I'm 30 now, so I mean we'll see. We'll see what they say.